morning. My name is Kridia Kantashot and I'm assistant professor in sociology at Srinakrin Willow University. Today I'm here with Associate Professor Dr. Mika Wadana from Universitas Negari Yogyakarta or Yogyakarta State University, Indonesia. He's here with us for 1 week to give lectures to social scientist students. Mika is currently the head department of Sociology of Education. He does both qualitative and quantitative research. His research includes sociology of education and religion. He is active in publishing academic journals. Today I have the pleasure of talking to Professor Dr. Mika. We will be discussing about education in ASEAN countries and how AI affects education. So what is your opinion on ASEAN education and how it evolves over time?
Yeah, education is getting much important. You know, the mass schooling in around the world was growing, and including Southeast Asia in the last 50 years, I think. But in the last 50 years also, there is kind of a gap, you know, the different evolution or transformation in each country. For example, if we look in the PISA data, some countries like Singapore and Vietnam was perform very well. The student there was fantastic. And some countries was struggling in Southeast Asia. Indonesia was a bit struggling with that. Laos, Philippines, Thailand will be better, and Malaysia is better. And but important thing is education is getting more important. The way we teach our kids, our younger generation to be part of the society in general.
Okay, so how do we close those gaps, you know, between the ASEAN countries?
Yeah, now I think they need more cooperation to look each other, how they teach the student, younger generation, and mostly in math, for example, or in languages, and they know that some method, some technique will be different. For example, Singapore will be good, but maybe not contextualized in Indonesian system is not similar, and Thailand will be different. But to share the experience together, it's much important.
Okay, so you think we need to have like a discussion of leaders from different countries? Okay, and so now AI, as we all know, is very important today. So how do you think AI disrupts education?
Yes, AI is a big thing. This is interesting, and how this is getting more familiar. And you know, we have to understand whether the younger generation is a digital native or maybe more than that. They will be use AI much better than us. So it means we need, when we're going to use that in education, or finally we have to aware that education must be or will be affected by that. So for us, we have to know how this use in teaching, in learning much better, because otherwise, you know, the younger generation will we call say like cheat us with the system because they know better how to use this AI at the moment.
Okay, so you're saying that we should incorporate AI instead of going against it, correct?
Yeah, this would be like that.
Okay. And so in Indonesia, are there any classes that are geared towards AI?
Yeah, the government at the moment just start the new subject in the curriculum to introduce AI, coding, and programming at school, starting for the primary, and the lower secondary, and upper secondary. So it's mean AI will be part of them to learn. So of course there will be challenge or what the content actually. Generally, for my understanding, for the early days, for the early kid to learn about AI, about coding, programming, they know, for example, they learn about the hardware, hardware they use, and then they start to use about what's mean digital literacy or mean digital in general. And at the end, more start with the binary language, the binary system, how it works, and how it can use in many aspects, and in learning, in teaching, and also in working in everyday life, and solving a lot of problems.
Okay, so you're saying that it's in plan at the moment, but it hasn't been implemented yet,
Yeah,
correct?
it started this semester.
It started this semester. Yeah. And so how do you see the students as the recipient? Like, are they welcoming the incorporation of AI, or are they against it?
At the moment, some schools already have it. So some good school from the primary to the upper secondary, they already have that kind of class, extra class for robotic. Or for years in Indonesia, they have kind of a subject on IT. So actually they're already familiar. But But the next step is to use much more than that. So it's mean not only introduce a similar, a simple way, but how to use it in solving the problem. So that's interesting. To be honest, it's very challenging even for me. We need to know what next then.
Okay. And in terms of conducting research for professors and scholars in Indonesia, do you incorporate the use of AI in your research?
Yeah, I think in Indonesia now there is many, but mostly younger scholars. They start using AI. They're using much more IT in their research. So, for example, the much more familiar is using for literature review, using for the analytical data, and then also for writing. So that kind of thing that is growing up. Yeah.
Okay. And in terms of using AI for doing research, do you have to declare it? Are there like any ethical issues that come with using AI in doing research?
Yeah, the government is just released that just released the guide on how to use the AI in teaching, and then some use in research. So now they say that, but I think the declaration is still limited, but they're going to implement that in the coming years, I think. Particularly in the publication, some journals starting that you have to say if they're using AI for this or not. So it's now global. So it's in some international journal will asking, are you really using AI, and in which part, and then in what degree? So it's been affecting the result of the presentation itself.
Okay. And lastly, do you think that AI will replace human in the labor market?
That's a bit speculative in some ways, but in my opinion, that some job will be gone because of AI. But of course, a human is still there. So I think that the important in education is not to against that, but more how to use in teaching, how to use. In my concern, what we're developing at moment in my program is how to use the AI in working with that in solving the problem. For on our course, for example, now, I'm even urge a student when they learning the material, you can expand. We're using AI for that. You can using the AI to learn something else, even to develop things. But at the end, we need to know. It means that they need to change the way to teaching, the way to assessment of the student working. That's an important thing.
Okay, so you're saying that we should not let AI win, right? Because human, in the end, we are still in control. Yeah. And in order to be in control, we need to be able to have our analytical skills.
Mm-hmm. Yes, okay. It will be like that. So analytical skill is still human. We have some discussion with my colleagues who are working for that, and then they say some AI is kind of a hallucination. When we ask question to them, ask them to help this. At the end, when they fail to get the answer, they creating the answer by themselves. So it's we have to be aware that the challenge in education is when people use AI or my student use AI, they're aware that AI have a limitation. So still, that the difficult thing is to train a human, to train real student, the limitation of the AI in general.
Okay, so the takeaway is to incorporate AI in your research, that's fine, but you have to also learn that there's limitation that come with it, correct?
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I mean.
Okay, so thank you so much, Professor Dr. Amika Wadana. It's great having you with us today, and we hope to see you again in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.